There'll still be people taking a seat, that's no problem. I hope you all enjoyed your workshop. Did you? Yeah, mildly. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So like I said before, we now have some time to reflect back on what we did and learned during all the workshops. And we're interested in each of your reflections. So we'll be making use of Mentimeter. That means you can fill out an individual response. And it also means that it's saved for us, so we can look back on all that you wrote. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Mentimeter, you can just go to menti.com. You can either scan the QR code, or if your phone is difficult, like mine usually is, you can also type in the code. It's 16645055. If it doesn't work, just put your hand up and then someone can help you out. We'll have a couple of questions to help us with our reflections. Just wait a moment till everyone is in. 38 people, pretty good, pretty good. Let's see if we can take it to 100. Anyone having issues with it, or is it okay? Yeah? Can we start it before it? Yeah, okay, let's start with the first question. This is maybe difficult, because I can imagine you learned a lot. But what is the most useful thing you learned during your workshop? You have about 200 characters to fill out, I think. So maybe you can sneak in 2 or 3 things, but at least the most useful thing you learned. Oh, brainstorming with Lego, that's pretty good. Legos are fun. I'm not sure how you could learn that today and not already know that, but fair enough. Value of play, pretty good, yeah. The meaning of regenerative leadership. Learning how to listen differently. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Some people are giving it the thumbs up. Thank you. It's appreciated. Lego breaks the ice. Yeah, icebreaker. Always good, huh? Oh, someone is doing it in Dutch. Wants to exclude all the non-Dutch people. In a very short time, you can accomplish amazing things. Oh. We'll go a little bit more in depth in a minute. I just want to give people an opportunity to fill it out. Wisdom of silence. I think we all know people who can learn from that. How to talk about and imagine the future. It's an interesting one. Starting with yourself to see where your energy is. I like it. Vibes. Vibes are always good to explore. Trust your intuition. Intuition, nice one. A why is not always needed. Okay. I think most people will have filled it out. If not yet, don't worry about it. I'll just start already. Is there anyone who's like, I really want to share something about the workshop, or maybe I want to share the most useful thing I learned? All feeling shy? Otherwise, I'm going to choose, and you have to speak up. Let's see what we've got. Educational system still stuck. Okay, that makes sense. Looking inward and reflecting in small groups to connect I and we. My role in the system. Who typed that in? My role in the system. Oh, Wina. There we go. No, that's fine. That is allowed. Would you like to expand a little on your answer?
Oh, okay, yeah. I was in the workshop here, and it was about hope, and something before that. I forgot about the name. It was a long name. And what we did is we went in groups of 3, and then somebody told his story according to 3 questions we also had to elaborate upon. And then one was the witness, silent witness, and observing body language. and the other was careful listener or something like that. I totally bring the workshop damaged by not telling exactly how it was. But anyway, it was a good talk, and I think that is important. So I met 2 nice new people, and we discussed our own role in the system, in a community that we work in, but also in the larger whole. And that's part of the title, but I forgot the title.
That's fair enough. It's a lot to remember. Thank you. I would actually like to hear more about the Lego workshop. I doubt that was the actual title, but is there anyone who played with the Legos who'd like to elaborate? No one. Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Let's go over there. On my way. Thank you. What's your name? And yeah, what can you tell us about the Lego workshop?
My name is Caroline Maasden from Hogeschool Utrecht. I was in the Lego workshop, if you call it that. There was a lot more to it, of course.
Do you know the actual title of the workshop?
Something with carouseling. I also know the last word, I think similar to the previous one. Anyway, the Lego was really fun. And what I wrote up there was just follow the process, and it always brings something interesting. And there was this little anecdote that in my team, there was someone who actually said, well, they told me to build a tower, so I did build a tower. And then they told me to add something to make it more personal, and I did that. But I don't know what to say about it. But just because the thing is there, she could tell a lot about it. So just...
Very interesting. Follow the process. Yeah, brilliant. Anyone who played with Lego who'd like to expand on that? There was one hand up, another one. Who was that? There you go.
Here in the back. When Volker puts on the microphone, then...
Is it not on? Okay, no worries. I'll go over there. Who is it? Who put up their hand? There you go. Yeah. I'll stand behind you.
Now it's working.
It was very nice because we could also choose the topics. So there were 4 topics, and the Lego was the one with the icebreaker. So it immediately engages a conversation, and it's surprising with the Lego parts you have, that it enables you to build intuitively, because we can all play Lego. And it was quite profound what you were able to tell about and first we applied it about ourselves, and then it was about the topic, and that enabled us to deep dive immediately within just 2 minutes to get to the core of a certain topic.
Oh, brilliant, very interesting. Let's see what else was put up here. Humility is strength. That's a pretty interesting one. Who wrote that down? Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful session with some systemic work where we were placed in, well, we could place ourselves in the space, and then people were asked to stand up or sit down or even stand up on a chair or even sit down on the floor. And I just experienced that when I was sitting down on the floor, so very low, and the other group in front of us was standing on their chair, so really high. I felt really humble. But also very comfortable in like, wow, okay, so they are up there and maybe taking the lead or something. So that was my inner experience.
Very interesting one, very nice. Self-organization in action. Anyone would like to expand on that? Who wrote that down? Oh, there you go. Oh, very shy, don't worry about it. Would you like to expand on that?
No, so we facilitated the Value Network Carousel workshop, and we gave a little nudge, and then we saw the whole system organize itself towards the end. So self-organization in action. Yeah.
Brilliant. Legos. Someone's very into Legos now.
Gillian, I'm a mathematician, so I'm very much interested by the one on the right bottom. Math can be fun and interesting, and it wasn't me. Who wrote that down?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there. Please help us.
So I was part of the qual modeling workshop, and in the beginning, I mean, well, not in the beginning, but like towards the end, the moderator, she showed us a tool which was a quantitative modeling tool with system dynamics. It sounded like really big words, and it was the same expression at first, and I was quite confused in the beginning on how she was explaining when the carbon emissions reduce, this increases or that decreases. But I think that confusion made it even more interesting. And towards the end, all of us were very fascinated at how quantitative tools or thinking can help the more qualitative design thinking.
Brilliant. Do you think you'll apply it to your own work?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. I think that's good to hear. Yeah, brilliant. Is it possible to scroll through the Mentimeter, Joep? Let's see what else you've got. Self-control. Change sometimes goes in small steps. It's a nice one. Thought experiments. Who wrote down thought experiments? Oh, all the way in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, I experienced it actually more as a thought experiment. I was just discussing that with my colleague, because it's not so much that you come to actual solutions or conclusions, but more that you explore a topic through a perspective of a systems thinking. And I experienced it as a sort of a thought experiment. I did the legal workshop as well, so yeah.
Cool, nice. Okay, one more maybe. Let's see. Talking about virtues is better than talking about skills. That's an interesting one. Who wrote that down? There you go.
Thanks. So we see sometimes that a lot of organizations are hiring based on what people can do and not so much on what they would like to cultivate. And I think I was in the workshop by Mark Stein on virtues and transdisciplinary research. And sometimes virtues can be something you can really work on, and perhaps you don't act upon that yet, but you could eventually in the future. So things like humility, courage, and I think that was really a much better framing when you talk about organization and development, much more of a growth mindset rather than a fixed one.
Very interesting, thank you. All right, let's move on to the next question. What are you now going to do differently when engaging in systemic co-design? If anything, if you're not going to do anything differently, that's okay. But if you do, we're interested in knowing what. Still the same Menti, so if you're still logged in, you can just continue. Otherwise, type in the code again. Got some nice ones already. Being even more vulnerable. Be more brave and humble. Very nice one. Recall perspective. Invite play. Probably the Lego workshop again. Involving the body. It's an interesting one. Raise questions instead of formulating solutions. Have more patience, something a lot of people also can learn from. Include all senses, again involving the body, I guess. Be aware on how different words can have different meaning to different people. It's a nice one. Observe body language. More riskful play. I want to find out about the Lego workshop. I'm not sure if it's still there this afternoon. We can. Is there anyone who would like to expand on the Lego workshop? We already did so. Who gave the Lego workshop? Maybe I should ask that. Oh, the three of you. Would any? I spoke to you already. Would you like to?
What was it about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lego is a method or a tool, as you want to call it. Yeah, it is mostly to what is actually saying there, to surface on certain assumptions, values, and it's a lot about using your hands to you know, tap into that maybe unconscious knowledge that you have. It can be used as an icebreaker, but it can also be used to really understand systems and the complexity of interaction between different actors. So definitely fits a lot with the theme of systemic co-design and emergence. Well, we used it as an icebreaker and also for people to share their own values and why they care for certain topics that we randomly picked but are relevant nowadays. And that was generating some sort of immediate urgency, you know, to speak about that and transfer that into a story, which you used the Canvas story for that, not the story canvas, but the story canvas, I could say. And then, yeah, to demonstrate all the different perspectives and share that. So that's in a nutshell.
Thank you. Are you giving the workshop again this afternoon?
No, unfortunately, but we are open to discuss. I would also like to participate in some workshops. So
that makes sense. Are you happy to talk to people during your lunch break? Do you still have the Legos with you during the lunch break?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. You can play during the lunch break.
May I just add on something, because now it's all about the Lego, and at the end of the day, this was not a Lego workshop on its own. So it's important that we used it as a tool and methodology to generate this thinking beyond the topics we had. So yes, it was an icebreaker, but it was a startup of a conversation with far more depth into really generating impact, which unfolded because of the themes and the topics selected. So very happy that people related to it so much. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Good to add that, yeah. Not just about the Lego. Yeah, what have we got? Let's see. Is there anyone who's volunteering to participate something about this question? What was it again? Oh yeah, what are you going to do differently now? Answer more public questions. Let's see. Not to do it academically. It's an interesting one, if it's coming from someone who works in academics. Who wrote that down?
Yeah, I would like to engage more with real people rather than only with papers.
That makes sense. And why? What made you think that during the workshop?
Actually, yeah, because of the conversation, one-to-one. It opened like a space for, it allowed more vulnerability from participants.
That's good to hear. Brilliant. Thank you. Challenge blind spots. I think that's also an interesting one. Who wrote that down? All the way in the back. Yeah. Frank is coming towards you.
Yeah. My name is Pien, Crispijn. Well, it came up to me because we often do not realize by ourselves what are our blind spots. And to talk with people you don't know and who don't know you, you're getting confronted actually with your blind spots. I mean, more easier than when you're talking only to people you already know who are familiar with you. They don't challenge you, but other people will challenge you to be confronted with your blind spots.
More real people too. Thank you. Let's see, what else have we got? Play with the idea of forgetting all the knowledge you have. Go from there. Yeah? Frank, can you up here? Thank you.
Hi, this is Chris. Yeah, I was in the Futures workshop. And it was nice to sort of have the idea that you'd actually forgotten kind of yesterday. We had to do a lot of, in that kind of role play, and it was nice to sort of, because sometimes having knowledge can lead you down a certain path or kind of maybe more have authority or so. And so this was nice to just think, well, you know, if I didn't know it, what would I do now? So kind of cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Thank you. Next question. What questions do you still have, preferably about the workshops or relevant to it? I can imagine you have loads of questions in general, but in particular relevant to today, what questions do you still have? Could also be questions about other workshops, other than the Lego workshop. Many. You are allowed to be more specific. Qualitative answers. Explain like I'm 5, yeah, it's always a good one. Who will I meet at lunch? What is the meaning of life? Yeah. 42, yeah, that's right. Talk to an alien about systems. What is for lunch? Yeah, the question that's all on our mind right now. Where do babies come from? Kind of worried about that one, considering the ages of the people here, but I'm sure we have some time during lunch to get into that. Engaging others who prefer to be silent, how or not? When is this conference taking place again in the future? It's great already. That's nice.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. And Thursday. Is there a quiet space for sensory calm down? That's actually a great question. If you go up the stairs, there is a quiet space with a couple couches and a big table. You can go up there anytime. So that's just one stairs up from here, next to the toilets. How is a Lego born? I think we're gonna have to go to Denmark for that one. Danish secrets. Where do all these people come from? Oh no, that's another one. Can't see it yet. They all look so clever. Loads of academics, I guess. Oh, that's an interesting one. What is the dark side of systemic design? Who asked that question?
I also asked about the meaning of life, by the way. My sister is a philosopher, and she wrote a book on pessimism. She's a very happy woman, but she loves the dark side. And I think in these kind of conferences, we very much look at like, okay, how can everything be happy and good? And I think it's also important to look at the other side of, for instance, I was in a workshop on the education, on students as partners. And we had beautiful visions of leadership, but also right the minute after, I talked to a teacher who said like, I'm just flustered with my workload, so how am I going to do this? So also really accept that those parts are there as well. And I think in systemic design, we also have this positive bias, so really be sensitive to that and also allow to extend our vision to the negative sides as well.
That makes sense. Great point. Yeah. Is there anyone who either wrote down a question or just has one in general about any of the other workshops? Maybe you could only, you could only go to one, but you'd also like to attend another one? Anyone? Yeah. No?
I have one here on the back.
A very small question. There was a lady explaining that they were doing a systemic work exercise, like a family type of family opstelling. And I was wondering which workshop was that?
Does anyone know?
Ah, okay, thanks.
So Rihanna, where's Rihanna? We're here. So we did a workshop on from separation to connection, on regenerative leadership and students as partners. And we use one of the exercises on upselling, yeah.
Great, thank you. Our last question. Describe your workshop in one or a few words. It's going to be a word cloud, so if there's multiple people who write down the same word, it gets bigger. It's a bigger word. Who doesn't love a word cloud? Fun. That's nice. A Lego workshop, probably. Magic. That's a big one. Liberating, create. Fun is still winning. It's good that it was fun. Therapy. It's intense, but nice, I guess. Complex. I forgot everything already. That's also impressive. Reflective. Reflective is now catching up to fun. Dialogue. I think that's it. Oh, got more. Got more. So we got reflective, liberating, fun, inspiring, create, creative. Sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks all for participating. What's that? Cozy with a lot of Z's. That's someone had a little sleepy break, nap time. Yeah, thanks a lot. In a couple minutes we'll have lunch. But before we start with lunch, just want to give a heads up that if you have a ticket for Thursday, but you can't make it anymore, can happen, too bad. Please let Marieke Zielhuis know. Marieke, are you here? Yeah, she's putting her hand up right now. Let her know, because then other people still have the opportunity to go, because there is a big demand, creating a scarcity mindset for you right now. Not very sustainable, sorry. Yeah, we got a delicious and sustainable lunch for you. And if you would like to network, but you are a little shy, or you don't know how, or I don't know, you haven't got your pickup line ready yet. Let me help you out with this. I got a riddle for you, because I agree, people here look really smart, so I bet you like a riddle. I'm going to give the answer after the break. If you already know this one, shh. Okay, here we go. I have a forest, but no trees, rivers, but no water. I have cities, but no buildings. What am I? I'll repeat it once more. I have forests, but no trees, rivers, but no water. I have cities, but no buildings. What am I? I'll give you the answer after the break. Enjoy your lunch.